Stray Kids Bangchan recently held one of his weekly live streams, and one of the questions that was asked was how was Music Bank in Paris? And while answering that question, he also mentioned this.
I don't know if it's I don't know, I might sound like a boomer. I think, because generations are different, and I know that as well. But like, I feel like it's come to the point where greeting someone is not considered as basic manners. Like I'm not saying like I'm not like cussing people out or anything. It's just that I feel like I'm thinking too much about it, because if you see someone walk by and then you say hi, you go, oh, 안녕하세요, but then if they don't reply back, it'd be like, what, like, okay. But I feel like it's come to the point where this generation is allowed to do that, just not care if that's right. But yeah, no, because I guess there were a few scenarios where that would happen, but at first I was like, okay, I was like, okay, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, maybe I'm just over exaggerating. Maybe just I'm thinking too much about it. Maybe I'm just a boomer. So I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess it could happen. But then for me, in my perspective, I was like, okay, well, I mean, whoever it is, I'm just gonna insider. I'm just gonna say hi the best I can, because I'm here to have fun and greet the people that I like and respect. So I think that was the whole vibe. That was one of the things I remembered from Music Bank in Paris, but yeah.
This actually isn't the first time he's brought this up.
Sometimes when we greet people, sometimes they just completely ignore us. And then now that, as someone who greeted someone, can be a bit, disappointing. It can be a bit sad. So like, if I feel like it's basic manners to, if someone greets you, you gotta at least give them like a little reaction, or greet them back. I feel like it's basic manners, but I mean, they high chance that they probably didn't see, so it's completely fine. But yeah, I feel like greeting is very important. But yeah.
In the most recent discussion, although he chalked it up to maybe a generational difference rather than disrespect, and made sure not to mention any names, people began to speculate anyway, bringing up a specific group, which seemed like it caused some chaos. This eventually got to the point where Bangchan has now come out on Instagram, apologizing for the offense caused by his comments, that it was not his intention to specify a certain artist, and that it has nothing to do with the one being mentioned right now. He ends it by saying he'll be more cautious in order to ensure this doesn't happen again. And whether or not you believe it was necessary for him to apologize, he wasn't the only one to do so this week. Every time I watch or see a clip of P1Harmony's Keeho, he just seems like he's not afraid to be real, which is why he's so hilarious.
You guys keep saying English please, but you guys aren't asking good questions. Like, if you asked me some fun questions, then I would answer them in English, but there's no fun questions. You guys are just yelling. But I will speak English for you.
And side note, Back Down is awesome. Well, it looks like Keeho has now upset some people with some of his recent statements. Someone anonymously posted his messages from a fan communication app where Keeho talks about how he sometimes thinks about the lives of the people he sees outside. If he sees a student, he's wondering if they're having fun at school, if they're having a hard time, what their major could be. When he sees people working, he's wondering if they're happy with the jobs they have. And then said when he sees unemployed people, he wonders what kind of work their parents do. That last remark regarding those who are unemployed seemed to have upset enough people to the point where Keeho had to clarify, saying he didn't mean anything negative by what he said, but it seemed to have been misunderstood, apologizing to those he upset. Although the frustration initially felt toward Teen Top leader C.A.P may have been intentional. There have been a lot of exciting reunion comebacks announced lately. We talked about the heartwarming story of how Infinite got their trademarks for their 13th anniversary, and UKISS just announced a comeback with 6 members for their 15th anniversary. Teen Top also confirmed plans for a comeback after many years, as their song songs have been in the spotlight again after being covered on a variety show. Well, it's already getting off to a rocky start with the controversy involving leader C.A.P. C.A.P recently held a live stream when some people started telling him not to smoke on broadcast. This seemingly angered him, to which he responded that the people telling him this were not watching his broadcast before. They're only here after the comeback news broke and are now telling him what to do all of a sudden just because the group is getting back together. He then mentions the possibility of him not even participating in the comeback at all. This garnered him a lot of backlash as he was using harsh language while expressing his frustrations at fans. Top media quickly came out apologizing for C.A.P's words and actions and their inability to manage their artist properly. This statement would then be shortly followed by one announcing that after discussing with the Teen Top members, C.A.P will now be withdrawn from the group. They will now move forward with their upcoming activities as 4 members. C.A.P not only put out his own statement and apology, but also went live to further explain the decision. He didn't necessarily think his actions were wrong, but was apologizing for lying to fans. Because when he said he was considering not renewing or participating, his mind was actually already made. He had been wanting to talk to his members about this, but they were extremely busy, and also tried talking to the company. He admitted that he felt the only thing he could do at this point was create trouble, apologize, then leave. He understands that it was selfish, has gone to the company, talked to the members face to face, and reiterated that him and the guys are on good terms and will always be family no matter what. I think a lot of fans accepted his apology, understood his explanation, and have moved on, but for some reason, IU continues to be attacked. There seems to be some kind of weird movement against IU at the moment, because there have been flyers spreading around accusing IU of being a North Korean spy, funneling the money through a specific bank, and selling information to China. This also happens to coincide with IU's company now hiring a copyright lawyer to investigate the recent anonymous accusations that she plagiarized at least 6 songs. Just to note, this person is seemingly not connected to the production of any of the songs that were apparently plagiarized, but found a law allowing them to file charges on behalf of others. Ever since, the writers of Good Day, The Red Shoes, BB all came out adamantly refuting the accusations, and while we wait to see how this turns out legally, the agency feels as though this is only an attempt to damage IU's image, as the accuser is not targeting the actual composers of the songs, rather just IU herself, which doesn't make sense. Finally, last time we talked about Hyuning Bahia stepping away from activities and promotions due to a death in her family, and now it has been announced that SSERAFIM's YUNJIN also had to sit out of a fan signing due to a passing in her family. Hopefully she gets the time she needs to be with her loved ones, and hopefully the Red Velvet girls get the time they need to focus on their physical health. Many fans felt Red Velvet's tour should have been postponed after Joy had to leave a concert early and go on hiatus due to her health. Well, that now might actually be happening, because Red Velvet recently announced that their upcoming shows in Thailand will be indefinitely postponed after Wendy started feeling unwell and then tested positive for COVID. MIRAE's JUNHYUK will also be taking a break from most group activities, including their comeback after sustaining an ankle fracture while filming the music video for their new song. But let's also celebrate the positive things that have been happening in the K-pop world. I think we all suspected YG was lying when he said BABYMONSTER would be less than 7 members and then confirmed that there would only be 5. Admittedly, doubt did start seeping into my mind when he took out that board with only 5 spots and then actually announced only 5 members and then explained why he personally chose those 5 members. Well, it turned out to be a swerve like we all thought, because it is now official. BABYMONSTER will debut with all 7 members. I do still kind of feel bad about the way Asa and Rora were presented in this video. After Kai got the fan meeting he wanted, taking pictures and videos of fans that were there so he can remember while serving, Kai has now enlisted in the military, sent off by a reunited EXO. But it won't be long before we see him back with the EXO members, back with his sister. Just like how we got a bunch of reunions during a couple of weddings associated with Starship recently, that meant a lot of their current and former artists were present, including all 4 members of SISTAR, IVE, Cosmic Girls, and even WONHO and MONSTA X together. We've had some huge comebacks and releases since the last video. The debut of the WEND, Idol is finally back, killing all of us with that music video. Congrats to SSERAFIM, who also just made their comeback, entering the Billboard 200 at number 6, becoming the fastest K-pop girl group to break the top 10. AESPA, who of course finally made their their comeback, now breaking the record having the highest first week sales of any female artist and of any artist in SM Entertainment. The girls are killing it. I can't wait to see them at New York's Governor's Ball in June. I hope to see some of you guys there as well. Let's try to get some of those limited edition photo cards, but if we can't, it's okay, because it's true what Giselle says.
KFC lemons make mojitos. 나 진짜 방금 명언이었어.